Hi, Virgo. This is a general reading for the sign of Virgo. If you have Virgo anywhere in your birth chart, this is your reading. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. You know what is for you and what is not for you. If this is your first time tuning in, how these readings usually work is that we do take into consideration what Spirit is trying to tell us through the tarot, and then we also use the location of the moon, the sun, and also other planetary placements to get a really good idea of the energy that is surrounding you and maybe how people, places, and things may be affecting you at this time. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Virgo. Virgo, this week the moon enters into the first quarter phase in Pisces. Pisces heightens our sensitivity and makes us keenly aware of our environment. And the first quarter moon is one of the best times to make decisions. Also, this week, the winter solstice begins. Take time to celebrate the beginning of winter with a simple ceremony. It doesn't really need to be anything fancy. Maybe try lighting a candle, making a wreath, or even a simple prayer of thanksgiving for the Christmas lights. What is important here is the setting of our intentions, and then how we focus our energy. That is what matters. That is what counts here, is how we set our intentions and how we channel or use our energy. Where we put our energy in is how we will get our energy back. And the foundation, the basis of this reading is Chariot. The Chariot is the master victory of victory, the commanding of our victory, the taking responsibility for our victory. Victory comes from loss. Victory comes from loss. Turning a loss into a victory, or using a loss to motivate us, to move us into victory. And so it's almost like taking the energy of a loss and turning that energy into a victory. Let's see how that plays into the rest of your reading. I love that for you. Anybody who can take a loss, take the energy, because even a loss has an energy. And when we receive that defeating energy, we do have the capability to move that, to shift that, to focus that onto a victory. Victory from loss. And we have sudden changes here in your work life, in your career life, in your professional life. Sudden changes, passionate changes, a desire to move forward, a desire for change. A desire for change, a desire to move forward that has come from thinking, come from contemplation. This change, this passion, you've been thinking about that. You've been thinking about that. You've been making plans for that. You've been wanting to create that. You've been putting together a plan. A plan for victory, a plan for success. A plan for success. There's coming up with a plan. Thinking quick on your feet. Thinking quick on your feet, making a sudden decision, but it's not a sudden decision. So you've been thinking, you've been contemplating, you've been putting together a plan, and it's going to take suddenly it's going to happen. Suddenly steps are going to be taken. You will be moving forward with something that you've been thinking about. Maybe you've been putting off a decision, you've been putting off doing something. But you've put it off long enough, and now's the time to take action. Now is the time to take action. Perhaps you've been feeling a little bit stuck. Perhaps you've been feeling like there wasn't much that you could do about it. It's like you've had this thought, you've had this idea, you've had this plan, but you haven't taken action. But I see you taking action on this thought. I see you moving forward with this thought. Whether this is something that you decide to take action on, or if something happens and you're forced to take action on that, I see that you have a plan in place for when this happens, and I see that it's going to happen relatively quickly here for you, Virgo. And a gift that we are not seeing, the Empress card. The happy family, happy endings, happily ever after, and the gift of strength. Someone is not telling you the whole truth, or you feel as if you're only hearing half truth or half of the story. And you are going to do your best for clear communication when talking with this person. I think this is not the first time that you have experienced this. Not the whole truth or half truths or part truths or part of a situation, a half lie, a half truth, feeling like you've been left out in the dark or really lacking clarity. I think that you've had a similar situation with this person in the past. And it's very important that when you are dealing with this person, that you speak to this person very clearly and stick to the facts. And use your spidey sense. You know, many times when we're dealing with people that deal in half-truths or that omit facts or that try to keep us in the dark, that we do have that inner voice. We do have that inner knowing. And we can determine when a person is being evasive or when a person is telling us half-truths or, you know, just omitting things for really no, you know, and there's some people that really just for no reason whatsoever tell us half-truths or leave things out, and it's just for no in particular reason, but we know that it is happening. We know that it is there. I think what is important here is that when you find this person doing this again, that you ask yourself, is it really worth the argument? Is it really worth the argument? And some things just aren't worth the argument. You know, it's just, we know, you know, we can't change who a person is at their core. Final thoughts, final messages, appreciation, coupleships. Fools rush in. I love that we're seeing this. Reaching an agreement with someone that is younger than you, or reaching an agreement with someone that is an authority. It's almost like a mother and a child reaching a new appreciation, a newfound appreciation. So it's the older person. The older person will always have a fonder, keener appreciation than the younger person. But just because you have a different amount of appreciation does not mean that you cannot work together or come together well and come up with a good action plan. Coming up with a good action plan. So appreciating where the other person is, and the other person will appreciate where you're at. You'll find a working agreement that will have you taking a good action plan. And that is the message that I have for the sign of Virgo. Thank you, Virgo. You have a blessed week.